Hi, friends. Now, this topic came into my mind. Um, I'm always a few videos ahead, even if I'm just planning them in the back of my mind. And I am now recording, I believe I'll be 3 videos ahead. So if you see me, in the same clothes or something, I'm just literally just recording videos together. Because I believe, well, I've done most of them all this week and pretty much close together. So anyway, so I wanted to talk about this thing that I discovered. I have not heard other mediums talking. Well, yes, I have. So I have heard one medium speaking about this in a general way, which was in a class with Suzanne Giesman, which I have taken classes over the span of being a medium because I find that it has stabilized or crystallized whatever is going on with me at that particular time. But I don't think I would take another mediumship class at this point because just because of what ended up happening with me during my last class. Nothing bad. It was just like, oh, I think like really this is going to be my last class. It was important to study with Suzanne briefly, just like I said, to crystallize some things. And I heard this well, I already knew about it, but I had it confirmed in Suzanne's class, which is that I'm not sure exactly when in my journey I figured this out, but I would see it in my mind's eye, which is that something about soul groups. So we all know about like soul family, which is like you actually stay soul family with the same people. Not saying that you always incarnate with the same people, but your actual soul family, or like pieces of your oversoul, stay the same. I just had that confirmed a few minutes ago by Bashar. I do research before doing these. But anyway, so I had always seen this other thing related to soul groups, which is that there's soul groups of like professions, like people who have been writers over time. So time is simultaneous, but let's say that, like, for example, Edgar Allan Poe and, I don't know, like Hemingway, anyone who has incarnated, I guess, as a writer, they do travel. I don't know if I would say travel, but you can find them in the astral realm in groups. I've just always seen this throughout my life. It's amazing. It's a soul group that would be larger than you would expect. Like, trust me, like the soul group of everyone who's ever incarnated as a writer is like a large group. And for whatever reason, my guides would always show me that these groups exist. Like, I'll give another example that I always think of because it kind of warms my heart, but like all firefighters are a group. And maybe it probably has to do with, they've all been that particular vibration at some point, and so they congregate. And I don't know why I have always seen this, but throughout my life in the astral realm, I see these big crowds of people, which really tells me there's more souls in the universe than we can even fathom. Um, so, and it's not, and then, so I wanted to bring this up because another thing related to Suzanne Giesemann is that, so she knows this particular, now she's a medium. I think originally she studied with Suzanne, but she found Suzanne's work. And her name is, I believe, Cheryl Page. I will definitely get a link to, like, at least her website and, like, maybe an interview. They've done a bunch of interviews, so I'll try to find the best one and put an interview between Suzanne and Cheryl in the description. Because the thing with Cheryl Page that I want to bring up is that she created these particular decks that are geared toward mediumship. And this is the kind of thing I'm always curious about. I do have 2 particular decks that I find enhance mediumship, and not all of them do. But I have already covered them on my channel, but these are more. She has 2 decks where she made them at different times. And they do go in and out of print, but if they're in print, I mean, bottom line, I'll put her website in the description. But if her decks are still in print right now, you know, I'll put a link to her decks in the description. So I have to gather a lot of links before I can post this, but that's okay because I'm ahead of schedule right now. So I'll try to gather a lot of links related to this Cheryl Page thing because it just interests me. And, like, my current understanding of all of this is that basically, like, what her decks do is that they help you focus on a given, like, I'll give an example. I don't know if he's in the deck, but I would be surprised if not, but, like, Einstein. So she has, like, a card for Einstein, let's say, or, like, I don't remember exactly who's in the decks because I have both of them and they're mixed together and they are in a tarot bag, which is across the room from me. So I'm not entirely sure of the exact people that she selected. A few of them she talks about in the interviews, and she, like, basically after finding Suzanne, she realized that, like, you can, like, even if, you know, let's say that Einstein is reincarnated, well, like, all time is simultaneous, so all lives are happening right now. But let's say that he's back on Earth doing something else, but the part of his soul that was Einstein always remembers how to be Einstein and to come forward. And that has to do with, like, frames of reality and time being simultaneous. Like, Einstein is still always Einstein, as far as I understand it. Anyway, so she has these cards where she has these, I don't know, like, not all celebrities, but they're, like, famous scientists and, like, people who you can put, practice mediumship with, where she got consent for them to be in her deck. It's not a tarot deck, it's just it's a deck of people, and it's 2 different decks that she made, one and then the other. And then, sorry, hold. So she made one and then the other. And, basically, you can practice mediumship with them because they already consented to be in the deck, and then you pull a card, and then you spend the day with that like practicing mediumship and asking questions, which might feel a little bit like it's more advanced than spirit guides. I don't know which would be considered, like, that's going to be up to your beliefs, whether or not it's difficult or not. Like, to be honest with you, it's going to be up to your beliefs and your filters. But I have not, like, practiced that much with this because I just haven't had, I would have to take time to, be practicing, and mediumship with individual people is not really my interest. I'm more interested in spirit guides and angels. But like, you can basically, the people in the deck consented to practice mediumship with anyone who wants the deck and wants to practice mediumship and call forward, like, Einstein. So I know they work because she is a student of Suzanne, and, like, Suzanne is one of the most well-known evidential mediums in the US, and, like, it's definitely, like, they know each other really well, and I know that Suzanne knows that these cards work. So I will get some information about all of that, and I have also experienced this in Suzanne's class, because when it came up in Suzanne's class, we as a group connected to I guess the oversoul of, or the soul group of all mediums. There's, like, it's whether or not it's the soul group or the collective consciousness. We connected to it in class, and several of us had an experience of talking to Suzanne, one of Suzanne's mentors and teachers. And I know I look tired because I am. I sleep very little, so I'm probably always going to look tired. I don't sleep much. Anyway, so it's very fascinating. And so, whether it's the soul group or the oversoul of, like, all mediums, all firefighters, all scientists, that is, like, a thing that you can tap into. And try, the best advice I would have is the less that you assume about it, like whether or not it's going to be hard or not. Try to not worry about that part, because the less you worry about that part, the easier it would be. So I will get links together so that I can post this for the follow. Well, I'm right now I'm 2 Mondays ahead, so by the time this comes out, it'll be 3 weeks from this Monday. So I'm very so it'll be right in time for spooky season, because it'll be in October by the time you see this video. So anyway, I hope that interests you, and if you like this kind of content, this is the kind of thing I talk about, because I've been around mediums for most of my life, and I've seen a lot of things. I've seen a lot in the industry, and I've also been a client because I had my own grief. So I've been on both sides of the equation, and I hope this is interesting to you. If you would like to leave a comment, question, a like, or subscribe, it's all good. It's all appreciated. It's not expected. Um, because I actually am invested in keeping this YouTube fairly small. But I hope this is helpful to you, and I'll get the links. Have a wonderful week as always.